Welcome back to the Dragon's Lair, everyone. My name is Wade, and this is my show Let's Talk, where we talk about Warhammer 40k. And we are talking about Genestealers today. Go ahead and check out the playlist. When I'm done, I'm going to have a video for every unit in the Codex, every detachment, and I'm going to tell you what I like, what I don't like, why I use it, why I don't use it, why I think it's useful, why I don't think it's useful. So right now, we're going over units that I feel synergize really well with a specific other unit. And we have Genestealers. Now, I'm not normally a big Genestealer fan, although I think they do have some really powerful applications if you use them with a Broodlord. So go ahead and check out the Broodlord video. I talk a lot about putting them with Genestealers. Now I'm going to talk a lot about putting Genestealers with Broodlords. As always, I'm making all these videos from the perspective of Invasion Fleet. I feel Invasion Fleet has the best tools to win games. Obviously, Crusher Stampede is going to be fun, Unending Swarm, Assimilation Swarm, and all the other stuff is going to be fun. But I feel like Invasion Fleet's got the best tools to do the best for us. And honestly, Genestealers with a Broodlord probably shine the brightest in an Invasion Vanguard fleet. So keep that in mind, and I'll mention some Invasion Vanguard stuff as we go along. So Genestealers, why are they useful? I think they're useful. So movement 8, that's pretty good. They are infantry. You know what? I realized I cut out the keywords from this image. Let's find those keywords. Gonna move this up. Gonna drop this down. Oh my goodness, gonna drop it way down. Right there. Anyways. They are infantry, so they're going to move through ruins, and that's really helpful, especially for getting those charges, especially in the RTT format where buildings, there's a lot of blocking buildings. It's all ruins, and they block everything. It's meant to really control monsters, I believe. So movement 8's pretty good. Tough 4 is not great. They're gonna get shredded, and that's an issue. So 5+ save, suck, mega suck. You're gonna be able to get cover in a lot of cases, but the 5+ invulnerable is what's gonna keep them alive. 2 wounds apiece, that's good. They're gonna live a little bit longer. Leadership 7, not great. Keep them in Synops, and that'll be fine. OC 1. So with a Broodlord, you're rocking a combined OC of 11. It means you're going to have to put wounds on your enemy in order to take objectives from them, or send something else with your 10-man Genestealers with a Broodlord to bump up that OC. You got to get those rookie numbers up. It's not a bad stat block, but like I said, put a Broodlord with it, because the Broodlord is going to let you, in every combat, target one enemy unit in engagement range, and then that enemy unit, their attacks back, get a -1 to hit. So that's what's going to keep you alive longer. That, your invulnerable save, 2 wounds. They've got a little bit of staying power. As far as the good, better, best philosophy, they are probably good. They're better against light infantry, fire warriors, aspect warriors, the light infantry that's going to make up some of the squads. They're going to be able to hurt elite infantry. They'll be able to hurt Terminators, but Terminators are going to smush them. And maybe you might be able to put some wounds on a vehicle. Maybe. So let's look at the melee weapons. Genestealer's Claws. 4 attacks apiece. That's not bad. A full squad is getting 40 attacks. Weapon skill 2. That's great. Weapon skill 2 on an infantry unit is great. You're going to get a lot of hits. Strength 4, it's not great. Strength 4, you're going to have a real tough time against a lot of vehicles. You're going to be okay against light infantry. It's going to be probably 4 versus 4, unless you're talking about guardsmen. AP2, in the world of AP, once again, good, better, best. So AP1 is good, AP2 is better, and 3 and above is best. 1 damage, that's not a lot. But I'll show you the math hammer, okay? to abilities, scouts. All right, so Scout 8 is part of the big deal here. So scouts, after the whole game is set up, regardless of who gets the first turn, all the scouts get a movement according to what number they have. So Scout 8. So let's say you're playing in Vanguard Invader. It's your turn. It's the first turn. Before you take your first turn, they're going to get an 8-inch movement. Then during your movement phase, they're going to get an 8-inch movement. I would suggest advancing. You're going to get a 3 or a 4. If you get a 3, your scout, your move, and your advance is worth 19 inches. If you roll a 4, it's worth 20 inches. And because, if we're talking about Vanguard Invader, if you run Vanguard Invader, because they have Vanguard in their keywords, you're looking down here, down here. That means they can charge after they advance. Okay, so you're talking about moving 19 or 20 inches and charging through ruins and terrain and everything else. You're going to get there. If you can't get there in 20 inches plus a charge, you got problems. So that's part of the big deal here. Vanguard Predator. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. That's great. If the target is within range of 1 or more objective markers, reroll a wound roll of 1. That's great. I'm not sure for sure, but I believe they give that to the Broodlord. So I believe they give something to the Broodlord, and the Broodlord gives something back to them. That's how I would read that. Keep in mind, when you're using a Broodlord, the Broodlord is going to give all of their attacks devastating wounds. Okay, and that's where you really shine. Okay, so now you're talking about 40 attacks. All of your 6s are going to be just all of your 6s to wound are going to be automatic 6s. This is how I think of it. Lethal hits, triggers, or procs on a hit roll of 6. Lethal hits, hit roll of 6, which is referred to as a critical. Devastating wounds, triggers, or procs on a wound roll of 6. So a critical wound roll. Devastating wounds, lethal hits. So you're gonna put through a lot of damage. That won't be savable by invulnerable saves or regular saves. They just won't get a save. Out of 40 attacks, you're gonna get plenty of 6s. You're gonna reroll 1s. Some of those might become 6s. It's a good deal. And that combination right there, the rerolling of 1s and the crits on wounds becoming devastating wounds, that's how you're going to shred heavy infantry. Because heavy infantry is going to have invulnerable saves, or they're going to have good saves, or their toughness is going to be high, and those 6s is what's going to cut through it. Same thing on a vehicle. Strength 4 is not going to be able to really hurt a vehicle, which is why you're going to need that 6 anyways, because 6 is the only thing that can do it. And then when you roll that 6, it's unsavable. So that's how those claws get in there and really rip an opponent apart. Once again, with Invasion Swarm, use your CP for rapid regeneration to keep them alive. Get it for free if you have a Walking Hive Tyrant, because it's a battle tactic. I would, in the right situation, suggest an Adrenal Surge. Adrenal Surge is pretty costly at 2 CP, but that means everything that triggers or procs on a 6 now triggers on a 5. 40 attacks, all 5s and 6s to wound, are devastating wounds. And that right there, a Genestealer squad could rip a Dreadnought apart. It probably would take 2 or 3 turns, and you're going to take heavy losses from the Dreadnought, because the Dreadnought's just going to squish you, but you could do it. So keep that in mind. Obviously, Vanguard Invader, they shine very brightly in Vanguard Invader. My Vanguard has 3 units of 10 Genestealers, and each one of them have a Broodlord with them, and it's all about get up in your face right away and make you worry about me now, which I really feel is fun for Vanguard Invader. I really enjoy making these videos. Go ahead and check out the playlist. We here at the Dragon's Lair understand that you could spend your time anywhere on the internet, and we want to say thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon's Lair.